BLUF Gaming here with another bunker infiltration tutorial for the game SCUM. This time we're in sector B2 and the bunker is in the bottom left portion of B2. We'll be approaching from the west side and going through the main door. There is a hatch entrance, however the hatch in this one has a very long fall. Even though it's easier to get to the hatch than it is to the door, just in case you get aggro at the hatch you could fall down the shaft, so we're going to go through the door. Just in case you can't quite see it, I will point out where the sentry is. You can see him marching to the right here, then he will U-turn and go left, back and forth, just those two stops, facing toward and then away from the main door. Obviously we want to enter the gate once he's turned away, so when he does that we'll run through and hide behind a nearby white brick wall. Once we're behind this white wall, we're fairly safe. However, we're about to cause some trouble. Because he's on such a short path, we can't quite sneak past him without him seeing us and possibly shooting us. So what we need to do is use a stone to distract him. If all you do is throw a stone on the ground somewhere, he'll go and guard the door. So instead what we have to do is throw a stone and actually hit him to draw him to where we are. He's going to go investigate where we were just standing. So while he's over there, that's when we'll be making our entrance. As you can see, he's over there trying to see who it was that just hit him, and here we are in his base taking his loot. As always, getting out is a lot more straightforward because you're less concerned about getting aggro. If we do get aggro, we can just zigzag left and right and avoid most of the fire. Also, because of the way this is set up, we have more time to escape because he's walking away from us than we would if we were actually waiting for him to pass by before we tried an entry. We're just going to run along the right and hide behind these containers over here. And from here, escaping is very straightforward. There you have it. That's your bottom line up front. Stick around if you'd like to see more details. Thanks for sticking around. Before we go in, let's make sure we're geared up. We have our inmate shirt, our inmate pants, and our specialized tool, the small stone. A rare find, but one I think you'll be able to get. It's very easy for the sentry to spot you over this little slope we're on, so you may need to crawl up so you can see exactly where his head is before we make our first run. We see him walking to the right here, so as soon as he turns around, we'll go in. As always, you want to clear the area of any puppets just in case. However, this one isn't quite so bad. Since it's such a short area, there aren't a lot of puppets around on this side. If you're using the hatch as an entrance, there are more puppets in that area. Earlier I mentioned that if you throw a stone, he'll go and guard the door. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. Okay, we're all geared up, and it doesn't matter where you are when you throw the stone. He's going to go back to the door and face the point at which you were standing. Once he turns around, I'll give you an example. Here we are. We throw the rock on the ground rather than at him. And he guards the door facing right where we were. If you had a teammate, perhaps you could use this to your advantage to sneak around. However, it would involve you getting way too close for my comfort, and I don't recommend you try it. Instead, I think just hitting him is fine, causing him to come investigate where you are and just make sure you aren't where you are, or at least not where you were, whenever he comes over. Sometimes he will leave this position, other times he'll stand there stuck. Either way, hit him with a rock, that should knock some sense back into him. Maybe now he'll go back to his normal cycle. Looks like we're going to need some more rocks. That should get him. Now that he's distracted, let's make our entrance. I left the door open, but it's no big concern. He's going to be pretty preoccupied for the next several seconds. Now that we're in, let's take a look around. Now that we're safely inside, let me show you the way to the hatch exit. You just want to go straight through, and once you go through this door, turn right. Follow the path as long as you can. And eventually the exit will be on your left. This is a rather large bunker, so it can be easy to get lost, and just in case you're in a hurry to get out, I thought you might want to know the other way out. And this, of course, leads to the hatch outside. I had someone ask to see the type of loot you can expect to get from a bunker, and rather than have you watch me loot this entire place for half an hour, I came in with a completely empty inventory aside from those special rocks I used earlier. So we can take a look at just what kind of kit you can expect to get from this bunker. And this bunker is pretty typical of other bunkers, so it's pretty much what you can expect from any of them, except for maybe the one around, I think, A2 or so, which is rather sparse. Okay, I'm back at the hatch. Let's take a look at the loot I was able to find. It was a relatively light run compared to a lot of bunkers, but I am fairly happy with what I've gotten. To start out with, I have a helmet, a backpack, a military ballistic vest, and basically a full set of tactical clothing. Surprisingly, I did not find a pair of boots. Now in terms of weapons, I found this nice shotgun and an AKM. Unfortunately, I didn't find any magazines for the AKM, however I did find some ammo. In my hands I have this pistol, which if I were to leave by the front door I could take with me. However, because I'll be climbing out of the hatch, I need to leave this behind or find 4 slots in my inventory where I can keep it. I think I'll likely be ditching these 2 bottles of lime soda so that I can keep the pistol. I have all of my weapons and weapon accessories up top. So you see I found a hunting scope, 13 rounds of 30-06 ammunition, 5 rounds of 50 cal, 8 rounds of 7.92 by 57, another box of the same. I have 12 rounds of 12 gauge shells for my shotgun, but you see I already have 8 loaded in here. I did find a bit of 9mm ammo, it's all in the pistol. I found 2 smoke grenades, and then I found just a litany of magazines. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I found 14 various, 15 if you count the one in the pistol, 15 various magazines. I found an RIS adapter for the Dragunov in case I find the SVD rifle. And I have a much nicer knife than the stone knife I had been using. I found a toolbox so that I can make my own ammunition now. And then further down, I get over into the less combat-oriented items. As I already mentioned, I have these 2 bottles of lime soda. I'll drink most of one here shortly. I have some bee pollen pills. I'm not sure if I mentioned that box of ammo already. Looks like I did not, so I have 2 boxes total here. I have some antibiotics, some painkillers, a couple of bandages, and some more painkillers, and then 2 cans of food. Like I said, this is a pretty typical haul. There were countless other pistols in this bunker. In fact, I'm fairly certain I found more 9mm pistols than I found 9mm ammo. Obviously, there are tons of clothes that I left behind, and I had pretty much the pick of any color I wanted of what I was wearing with the exception of the backpack. Typically, you will find an assault backpack or a hiking backpack, something with a little more storage than this. However, I am happy that I found it, as that's 20 slots worth of items more that I'm able to carry out than if I hadn't. So without further dilly-dallying, let me drink some of this soda, find a place to put the pistol in the bag. Actually, that's going in my jacket. And let's make our way out. As you may already know, it's hard to see a mech whenever you're leaving a hatch like this, so you have to use your ears as much as your eyes. The good news is that since we're on our way out, if we do get aggro, all we have to do is just run through a hole in the fence and we'll be fine. In case you aren't aware, and this might seem a little nitpicky, but just so you know, every time you press up or down, you move one hand up 2 rungs. The exception is that once you get to the very top, if I push up one more time, both hands will come to the same rung, so this one doesn't skip 2. In other words, pressing up doesn't cause you to leave from this position. Even so, once I open the door, I'm going to back off because you can be spotted if you're at the very top of the ladder. Now we're going to listen to the pattern of the mech, and once it sounds like he's going away, we're going to hopefully peek out, see his back, and then be able to make a run for it. I think now might be our chance. Let's take a look. There he goes. We should be good to run away. Sounds like we've gotten a little bit of aggro there. Good thing we're wearing a bulletproof vest. And we are out. Time to use one of those bandages we just got. Well, now that we're bandaged up, it's time to nurse these wounds and head to the next bunker. I hope this was helpful for you. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, or comment and tell me so. And if you dislike the video, I'm going to hire a hacker to go into your computer and replace some of your favorite old photos with Minecraft screenshots. Thanks for watching Bottom Line Up Front. I'll see you next time.